In this scene, I'm going to show you how to collect up and create your own perform command so that you can right click on a prop and use that command. In this one, it's an internal process for iClone to give you a perfect 360-degree rotation. If this has already been done, but there you go. It's perfect 360. If you put it on a loop, if I were to start it here, put it on loop and press play, it jumps back to 1 and continues on a smooth transition. It's very simple. On your timeline, figure out how many frames you need and set enough frames to make the collection. In this case, in this project, I've got a setup of 1801 frames. 1800 is 30 seconds, roughly. So you put it in at 30 seconds. I've got one extra frame so I can grab the end and collect it. The frames are 0, 179, 358, and then back to 0. And then it loops cleanly. I'll show you how to collect that on the timeline. But if you look under your modifier, you'll see it change here based on these keys. 0 on frame. Let's make sure that that's in frame 1. It's at 0. And then I believe it goes to 900. Here it's 179. And then it goes to 1800. It goes to 1798. And you'll see, actually it's here. 358. And then the last key is 0. I want to collect those up and give it a perform. If you right click on it now, there's nothing there. There's no perform commands available to you. So you're basically building your internal Lua script command so that you can use this again and again. And you will find things that you will use all the time, so it's up to you how you use it. I'm going to go ahead and collect this up. So I need to be able to see all the timeline on the screen. So I can collect those keys up. From 0 back to 0. So I start at the end. And I'm at frame 1800, which is where I should be. And I go collect clip. I just press down my key and drag across collect clip. Now this is in the help. It may not explain it because you're not actually looking at it. And then you right click, add to perform. This is a 360. And that's it. It gives me a perfect 360 degree loop, which can be looped over and over. 360 degree loop or spin, whichever way you want to put on it. Doesn't matter what the name is. You can put anything you want there as long as you know what it's going to do when you use it again. So there it is, 360 degree loop spin. And I say okay, that's it. It's been collected. All these transform keys are now part of a perform command. So if I hit stop and I right click on it and I give it a perform now, which wasn't there before, a 360 degree loop spin. It's on loop down here so that we'll loop around at the end and show you that it does work. I'm in real time. You can go and buy a frame. It's up to you. Perform 360 loop spin. And what it's going to do is it's adding to the animation line below it, and I'll show you that in just a second. And it gives you that command on your animation line, what you just typed in or what I just typed in. And that's how you collect and save perform commands. It could be anything. It could be a propeller spin. It could be used for rotating wheels. It could be used for fashion models, model displays, whatever you want to make it. Now once it's done and I've given it the command, it ends. So if I press play from this point, it's going to loop. It's going to jump right back to frame 1 and start all over again. And there it goes. So I'm going to show you the animation line now. And there it is. 360-degree loop spin. And you can change your transition and time warp all you want. This is a smooth transition based on the way it was built. So if I press play, I'm going to leave loop on. It gets to the end, I'm going to stop here and jump right back to frame 1 and loop again. Now, in order to use the loop feature up here, you have to have enough time in the timeline, or you can shrink and speed it up in the command line below it. And there it goes. And it starts all over again. So there you go. If I take this and I take my project up here, and instead of 1800 I go 4,000 frames. It doesn't matter. Whatever the number is. If I open the timeline now, my commands have plenty of room to be looped at minus, and then I can take this and either speed it up using this key or slow it down using the same key. Shrinking it speeds it up, stretching it slows it down, or I can loop it. Take loop, grab the end of it, and there you go. Now that's two of the same command in a row. Remove all animation, object animation, hit stop, give it a perform, 360 spin. I'll let it finish. It's doing its 360 spin. It's going to come up here, it's going to add the animation. It's going to stop here at 1800. Once it's finished, then you can reverse it, loop it, stretch it, shrink it to speed it up. Up to you. It is now your command. So I'm going to take this and go ahead and drag this out. Give me more time on the timeline. Moves my limiters down here. And then I take this, which is already set up for loop. I'm just going to right click on this and hit reverse. Hit stop. And now it goes in the other direction. If I come in here and I right click, I can't add the perform command up here. I have to do it down here. So right click on it, perform, 360 spin. Once it comes to this point, then it will just stop. If you right click and give a perform command and then you pause all of a sudden, you're going to cut your command off. It's only going to go as far as it goes, because you can go into each one of these and break it. So it assumes that you want to stop it at that point. If you want to copy this, you can copy it, come to the end of it, paste it, and then this was reversed. This is also a reverse, but it's going back straight. So it comes to this point, it transitions, it stops, and it goes back the other direction. Basically a lazy Susan that can spin back and forth. If you know what a lazy Susan is, some people don't. And that's how it works. It's very simple. Create it, 0, 179, 358, 0. Give it a name. In this case, 360-degree loop spin. And then you can right click on it, reverse it, you can stretch it, you can shrink it, speed it up, slow it down. It's up to you. But it gives you a tool that will help you in more ways than one for making pan cameras, wheel rotations, lazy Susans, gear rotations, without having to use physics constraints for rotations. One of the basic animation tools that will help you long time. Cricky out.